Hi, this is Glen Springfield bringing you another success hack for you and your business. Today, I want to talk about your habits. Now, we know that habits are the things that we do without thinking about them. And if we have a set of good habits, then it sets us up to produce good results without even thinking about it. Now we know if you brush your teeth like we're supposed to brush our teeth, it will make our breath better, our social life better, and it will make our teeth last longer. But if we don't have that habit of doing it, then we end up with a mouthful of rotten teeth, bad breath, and it affects our social life. So how did that habit of brushing our teeth, how did that get routinized? Well, it got routinized through just doing it over and over again. Now, you've probably heard the saying that it takes 21 days to form a habit. Well, there's new science out that says that that's not true. It takes something like 62 or 63 days of consecutively doing the same thing over and over and over again before it becomes routinized, planted in the subconscious mind to where you're going to be doing it automatically. So if you force yourself to do something for, say, 75 days or 80 days, 90 days. Let's just say you force yourself to do it. Does that mean that if you quit thinking about it and if you stop doing it, that you're going to keep the habit? Well, that's not the way it works. Because if you create a good habit, you add something to your routine that's good for you, and you do it every day and it becomes routinized, but then someday you just decide not to do it because it's an uncomfortable action that even though it's good for you, you just don't feel like it. When you make that compromise, you stop that habit. You broke the habit. And you do that 2-3 times, and all of a sudden your 90 days worth of work is destroyed. Now let me give you an example. I had learned that when I'm taking a shower in the morning, that after I'm rinsed off and everything, that if I will turn the water all the way to cold, 100% ice water coming out of that shower, that's going to be good for me. So why is it good for you? Well, it increases the number of mitochondria at the cellular level. It increases the healing speed of healing. So if I'm doing this after I worked out, then it would help my muscles to recover, help me to be stronger the rest of the day, stronger for the next tomorrow's workout. It would just be good for me. More mitochondria, the little engines in the cell that create all your energy. It's just better health, better recovery. It's good for you. So why wouldn't you do it? Well, I got to tell you, whenever you're in the shower and you're all nice, warm, and fuzzy, and you turn that water to ice cold, it will take your breath away. Man, it's cold. Well, okay, I started this slowly. I said, okay, I'm going to turn it on for 5 seconds, and I'm going to stand it for 5 seconds. Then I did it for 10 seconds, and then I did it for 15 seconds, and then I worked all the way up. Slowly, I worked all the way up to 60 breaths, which for me, deep breaths, it's probably about 90 seconds. And taking deep breaths in ice cold water is easy because when that water hits you, the first thing you're going to do is that's one. Well, so I built up this habit And it was good for me. Once you turn the cold water off, I'm not trying to sell you on cold showers, by the way, but once you turn the cold water off, then you are energized. You feel better. There is no doubt about that this makes you a better person, have more energy for the day, but it's also no doubt that it's hard, it's uncomfortable. So it feels good afterwards, but while you're doing it, it doesn't feel so good. Well, I went on a trip up to Idaho, and it was a vacation type trip, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So I stopped. Here I had been doing this, and I had developed all the way up to I would be under the cold water for so long that it didn't matter anymore. It wasn't like super uncomfortable. It wasn't comfortable, but that shock was gone. So I stopped doing it for a week. Well, the week after the vacation, the week turned into a month. And the month turned into 6 months. And the 6 months turned into a year. And the year turned into 2 years. And then I ran across some information, health information, that reminded me of how healthy it was and how important it was for me to do this. So I got to do it. So I get in the shower and flip that thing to cold, and woo, I had to start all over again. Started with 5 seconds, then 10 seconds, and then built up slowly again. And so now I know that when I'm tempted to not turn the water cold, I'm tempted to do that. I'm tempted to do that every day. It doesn't feel good, but it does good. So there's a difference between things that feel good and things that do good. But if you're an end result person, if you're success minded, you create the self-discipline to do the hard things. I ran across a pamphlet by a guy that wrote this little pamphlet, and it was called The Common Denominator of Success. And it was written way back in the 1920s. And he brought out that the common denominator of success is that successful people do those things that unsuccessful people are unwilling to do. But doing difficult things becomes a habit. And when it becomes a habit, it's not as hard. When I first started the cold water habit, it was a shock to my body. Whoa, was it uncomfortable. It was hard. But after I did it every day, it got easier and easier and easier, to the point where it's not something I love doing, but it's not that difficult. And I've got now embedded in my mind that if I ever don't do it, then I break the good habit. And then I'm going to lose all of the benefits, all the mitochondria, all the extra energy, the faster healing, and all that kind of stuff. So everything in life is like that. It takes self-discipline to get it started. And then you got to hold on to that discipline for 70 days or so. But then you got to keep in mind, what are those benefits, so that you're never ever tempted to stop this good habit. It brings benefits. It may not be pleasant, but it gets you from where you are to where you want to be. So that's the message for today. Hope that helps. See you guys later.